more than most of us could ever dream of.
We've been to Sri Lanka, we've been to Bali, India and Nepal,
Hong Kong, China, and all over the world.
Their travel itinerary is almost surreal.
Yes, we met the Pope in Rome. We met. I sat in the front.
Cliff swung that one with the help of New Zealand Catholic clergy.
They put a hand on my shoulders.
So what did you say to the Pope?
Hello Pope, how are you? On the face me and Dad with a little chat. We come in and we're in a hotel.
For them, it was just another nice person who took notice of them. That they were important was irrelevant to them.
Would you expect, though, some people might see all that travel you've done, that globe-trotting, and go, the guy's lived the life of Riley on the taxpayer?
Yes, and that has been forcibly told to us, people telling me that I should put them in care and not bother about taking them around the world. The only way that I could teach them about the world was by actually taking them there. And I'd done it through sheer determination, through living frugally, through not drinking, not smoking, not spending them on the pokies, not spending them on nice clothes. I've sacrificed all that part of my life.
And it wasn't just taxpayers' money. A small inheritance from Cliff's mother was helped with careful spending.
Change it $4.
Yeah.
1, 2.
Thank you very much.
And a lot of enterprise.
Yeah, take some fruit for tonight.
Those skills of gardening are enormously important when you're on the lifestyle that we've had. It's the difference between living a subsistence existence and leading a reasonably good life.
Add eggs from the chooks. Pop some Coromandel catch on the barbie, and lunch is tasty, fresh and free.
I think a little bit of the dressing came from the supermarket, but that's all.
Meanwhile, these middle-aged children still need constant feeding.
We go down the beach and get mussels. I go fishing and get a few fish.
So it's back in the boat for their 73-year-old father.
2 flounder. That'll do for dinner tonight. Look, Johnny.
Cliff, do you get some satisfaction out of knowing your kids are helping to support themselves as well?
Oh, absolutely. And it gives them an appreciation of the environment and a beautiful day this morning.
Though Cliff reckons there's something missing from this picture, and it's called fair play.
For years, Cliff has been battling the government on a principle that if it can pay professional caregivers to look after the disabled, then why can't it do the same for parents who take on the job themselves?
Right, John? 1, 2, 3.
Cliff has been minding his kids for 43 years. At first he had the DPB.
Okay, good man, Johnny. Thank you very much. When I become 65, I would get nothing for looking after them because the national superannuation is available to millionaire and pauper. It's a retirement scheme. So I thought, I'm going to get retirement money and yet I have to work for it. Now this is very wrong, so I rang up the Human Rights Commission last century to discuss the matter.
Yeah.
A group of other affected parents joined and it became a class action. They were vindicated.
The Human Rights Review Tribunal found that parents who provide disability support to their adult, severely disabled children were entitled to the same payments that anyone else who provided that same disability support would have received.
I like onions.
That victory ended years of battling for Cliff's group, except the Solicitor General is appealing.
That could take up to 5 years. And that's appalling, 5 years. And then
the Solicitor General won't comment, saying the case is before the courts.
It looks as though officials who've got egg all over their face in this decision, are desperate to prove themselves not completely incompetent with respect to human rights law.
Is it possible the government could simply be worried about a blowout in funds that we simply can't afford to pay?
In fact, the parents themselves, through their lawyers at the Human Rights Review Tribunal, were able to provide expert witnesses which showed that the figures that the Crown was using were absurd and not based on any sort of reality, and that at best there might be a small additional cost, but it wasn't going to be huge and it wasn't going to be a major fiscal risk to the government.
Right. Put the steamer in the pot. What else do we need, Rita? The hot water.
And while the courts decide, Cliff's job carries on as usual. For him, there's the worry he may never live to see justice done.
I mean, I feel I've had a heart attack and I've had surgery for prostate cancer. At 73, you've got 3 years more than your allotted span.
So you will carry on the fight?
Of course we will, to the death.
Cliff Robinson. And the Human Rights Tribunal has ruled that families with disabled children should qualify for help and were being discriminated against. The government's position on this? A difficult issue, it says, caring for the carers and the taxpayer. So even though accepting the parents deserve our admiration, it's lodged an appeal against the tribunal ruling.